Hey, I'm Mark,
I'm Kendrick.
and this is Movies in Black and White.
Ooh, that sounds so good. I love that name. I love it. So to cover the basics on what we're going to be talking about in all these episodes, and they'll come out on hopefully a weekly basis, yeah?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay. We're going to pretty much be talking about movie news, whatever interests us that week. Mostly, it's going to be a lot of superhero news because we're both major superhero buffs. I mean, my whole room's decorated with Batman stuff, truly.
And my whole life is about superheroes. So.
So, it's a little tidbit about us. We're huge Marvel and DC fans. We don't pick a side. I will say that the Marvel movies as a whole have been greater, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. We'll get into that in some time. We'll also be covering movie reviews, like we said, over time, depending on what we saw that week.
Right. And sci-fi genre,
Drama, action,
everything
that we can go see and get our hands on.
deemed very worthy of seeing.
Star Wars is going to be a big one for us.
Very big.
That'll be a good one. Let's see what else we can do. We want to really eventually get into in-depth movie things, like the history behind a movie. That will come down the line. Like, Star Wars has a very huge, vast history. A lot of stuff I didn't know and I would love to learn, and I'm sure other people would love to know about how much they actually went into that. Like a little tidbit, George Lucas produced all those movies himself. He, except for the first one, he financially backed Empire and Return of the Jedi, which is just absolutely insane. The man was a true genius.
True genius. People are trying to compare, and rightfully so, in some ways, Kevin Feige.
Oh, God, that man.
They are, he is the new Lucas, the new Spielberg of our generation. Come down the pipe with so many hit movies. Not only hit movies, but iconic movies. Things that are just going to live on forever. It is going to be interesting to see how they do close out the most iconic sci-fi franchise in history.
It's going to be tearjerker.
Yeah.
Truly a tearjerker. And, our main goal in this is to entertain you folks and have a good time. And, it's open a dialogue. Enjoy movies. Movies are possibly the greatest escapism there's ever been or ever will be. I'm a big video game nerd, but, nothing beats watching a movie. I can't quite get goosebumps playing a video game the way I do watching a movie. Like, there's so many things about movies that just take you to another world. The sounds, hell, you can even smell it sometimes, depending on what you're watching. That's what we really want to get into, the nitty gritty, and enjoy talking about them and just have fun with it. But, ideally, the biggest end goal here is to eventually start to interviewing people. Like,
yes.
Ideally, who would be the two, Mark?
No, we're working for Feige.
And George Lucas.
George Lucas,
yes.
that's correct.
We'd kill for that. And it's a far stretch. It's a huge goal, but that's something we love to do as big movie buffs. We love to talk to the two possibly greatest, smartest filmmakers in this world. I mean, yes. Spielberg obviously too would be great.
Fantastic.
But,
and we also want to try to reach out and see some, young talent, local talent.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there are guys out there making movies now. Jon Favreau is fantastic.
Chef.
Oh my gosh, Chef. What a movie! What an inspired series on Netflix. It's
great filmmaker.
Amazing. Yes.
We'd really love to just talk to anybody that came from the movies. I mean, we'd even have the boom holders come and talk to us.
Yeah.
Anybody that was involved in a movie, just to kind of get into that world and understand how it all works and plays out would be fantastic. I mean, actors would be great too. Mark and I don't really come from a theater background. We just mostly watch movies, but hearing these guys talk about what's truly passionate about them would be absolutely fantastic and fun to bring to the table.
Yeah, and how they get into character, how they draw from life experiences, hurts, pains, joys, everything else to get what eventually ends up on the screen, what we see out there. Because, you can have a screenplay, you can have it written down, you can have everything out there in front of you, but you have to make that character real to the people who are watching it.
Or how they came up with an ad-lib moment, too. I mean, some of the greatest scenes in movies are totally ad-lib. Like, I was explaining to somebody the other day that one of my favorite scenes from The Dark Knight is the Joker blowing up the hospital.
Right.
Great scene. But that was completely ad-libbed on Heath Ledger's part. The pyrotechnics didn't go quite right, and those were the small explosions, and he turned around and kept in character, didn't break a moment, and then all the explosions went off, and that was his true reaction. And you can't beat that. You just can't. So getting to talk to people like that would be fantastic, and just like we said, entertain you folks, have a good time. Get a website put together where you can reach us at and talk to us, and eventually do Q&As and stuff like that. If we ever have a great guest on, if you guys want to ask them questions directly, that'd be fantastic too.
It's
be
awesome.
the voice of the people,
That's
so
right.
to speak. But living in Austin, and close to Austin, we have a pretty good in line to certain events.
A lot of
like
resources.
South by would be
Yeah, it'll be
great. 'Cause
fantastic.
a lot of great people
Yes.
show to that. So
Yes, a lot of movie introductions. I mean, my gosh,
Fantastic.
premieres and everything like that would be fantastic.
talking to Kevin Smith would be fantastic too. Dude,
And he's reachable. So,
iconic. The dude's
yes.
great, fantastic person, great human being. Love everything he does. Just stuff like that. So,
Exactly.
Can't wait to entertain you folks, have a good time, and get to know y'all, and see if we can teach you something new about movies, and broaden your horizons when they come to the movies.
Or you can teach us something.
That too.
Hey,
Yeah, we're
that'd
not
be
experts.
fantastic.
We're just two guys that love movies and love to talk about movies. This whole idea came about was sitting at work one day and realized, you know what? We talk about movies all day long.
lot.
Why don't we just come up here and record something, and maybe you people will find us as entertaining as we find ourselves? Because I personally think I'm goddamn hilarious, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, I make people laugh.
Jury's out on that. But we'll make sure that happens.
We'll try our best. It's not for everybody, but maybe you'll enjoy us because we enjoy ourselves. So just about having a good time, drinking a little bit, having fun, talking about our favorite movies.
That's right.
So Mark, so they can get to know us a little better. Top 5 favorite movies, off the top of your head.
Number 1, Singing in the Rain.
That's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very good movie.
Number 2, Amistad.
Ooh, that's another good
I
one.
go with, at number 5, a recent movie that I thought was just excellently made, Joker.
Ooh.
I've got to go with Endgame as being one of my
Yep.
top, in number 4th place. And I'd put 3, I would put, as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I loved it,
Yes.
Convoy.
Ooh. Okay. All right. I'll give you that. Yeah. So if I had to pick my top 5, Tommy Boy by far is my favorite movie of all time. I grew up with that movie. It was one of my favorite movies of all time. We quoted it all the time. My uncle and I used to get in trouble quoting Tommy Boy all the time. My grandfather used to yell at
I
me
can't
for
imagine
saying
why,
"Shut up,
yeah.
Richard"
Yeah.
when I was 10 years old. It
Right.
just didn't fly right at that time. So that's probably my favorite movie of all time. Endgame as well. Truly made me cry on numerous points. I'm not afraid
Right.
to admit that as a grown ass man. It was great. It's fantastic. I'm really partial to Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
It used to scare me as a child, even in the bathtub, thinking that shark was going to come out of nowhere and eat you. So any movie that can do that to me sticks with me my whole life. I'm there for it.
That's true.
Jurassic Park, another one of my
great,
favorites.
great
So
movie.
there's 2 Spielbergs right there. For number 5, this is no any order by themselves. Like I couldn't really structure these because I love all movies. It's hard to pick your favorite, but
Right.
another one of my favorite movies I could watch any time of day, no matter what, is Return of the Jedi.
Oh, great.
Say what you will about those Ewoks.
It's.
But I'd love to give one of them
it's
fuckers a hug
fantastic.
because
Yep.
they are tiny little adorable creatures that just seems like they'd have a good time.
Certainly.
Probably drink us under the table.
I would say so.
So, that's about it for us. We're just excited to talk to you folks and have a good time. So, I'm Kendrick,
I'm Mark.
and this is Movies in Black and White. Can't wait to talk to you people.